What's good, gang? This was my trade for the 5th of February 2026. This was my first winning trade in actually a while. I'd been losing a lot, but this one was my first winning trade. I'm still learning, so it's part of the process. But let's get into it and how I actually made 468 USD today. So this is the trade. This wasn't actually the trade. This was the trade that I actually ended up taking. Just give it a minute. Yeah. So this is the trade that I actually ended up taking. Could have held all the way till there, but I was just aiming for the low hanging fruit. I got like a quick little 1.27, something like that. But yeah. So let's just go over it. So let's go and replay. Alright. So let's just go into higher time frame buys first. So as you can see, we were extremely bearish in the market. We're taking out all those good draws here, and also those weekly draws. Yeah, so this weekly draw and this weekly draw. So I knew that we were going to probably most likely continue lower. On ES, it was the same process. So we've actually taken this out, but yeah. So we were going lower. So we move on to a daily time frame. I knew that we were going to continue lower to at least hit these. On a 4 hour, there wasn't anything specific that I was looking for. It was just we're extremely bearish of all this. We're moving down with pretty fast displacement. So yeah, I was looking for sells. Now let's move on to key things I was looking at. When I went on to the hourly, what I saw was I saw this fair value gap right here. This 1 hour fair value gap, and I saw it was pretty obvious. So since we were in the sell, I wanted price. My prediction was price was going to come up into this area, then come down for sell side liquidity. Let's go into the 15-minute. 15-minute, nothing crazy. We also do have this, but let's go into 1. Okay. So that was that 1 hour fair value gap that I mentioned before, and this was that. This later on we'll come back into that, but what ends up happening is, let's just keep playing it. So we get that manipulation down at 9:30. So we get that manipulation down, and there we go. So that's that manipulation at 9:30 open. So it starts to go back down, and very obvious draw. So that's that previous day, and then you have that sell side liquidity as well. Resting. Let me just make sure it's previous day. Okay, yeah. So you have that previous day liquidity as well as it's almost relative equal lows. So we skip a bit and we start to displace much higher. This was my original thing. So we tap into this hourly fair value gap. So as you can see, so I know that this is definitely going to get hit. This is definitely going to hit good sell side liquidity. And we start to trade higher. We start to trade higher, and we actually tap into this. There's going to be a 5-minute, was it? No, yeah. So there you go. So we actually tap into this 5-minute as well, and at the same time, ES. Tapping into this. So I marked this as intermediate high, but eventually it does get tapped into, and this was 8:30. So 8:30's price. So it runs above 8:30 price, and 9:30 generates good amounts of liquidity to the downside. So essentially, this was a very obvious setup for me. Let's go back into the 1. There you go. So you have this 1-minute inversion. I was essentially going to enter off here and target the sell side, but from yesterday's session, I realized that I made a mistake. There was not enough strong displacement through this area, so I did not take this. I was just being a bit more patient, and it paid off. I learned from mistakes, so it comes up as you can see, and right about here, there you go. So I entered a little bit before the candle closed. Right about here, I enter, taps into this perfectly 5-minute, chops around for a bit. This is the same setup yesterday that I failed to execute, so I executed it today. As you can see, this setup, I didn't. If you had taken this, you had stops above here, you would have got stopped out immediately. But this, Essentially, I had stops above here. We had strong displacement. I didn't want to put my stops any higher. Targeted the low hanging fruit below. So at the same time, ES had taken out this intermediate high, so around here. So I knew it was confirmation that we were straight gonna dump. And yeah, entered around 9:55, and then boom at 10. 10 was new as well, so Jolt's job openings smashed through, and also just it smashed the sell side as well. And as you can see, I could have taken that as well, so could have held a bit longer. I didn't want to be too greedy. Probably need to get a bit more confident in holding these kind of setups because it's very obvious draws on liquidity as well as this. But for today, I took the low hanging fruit. Very simple setup. Let's just go on execution marks. Oh, you have to get out of replay. Yeah. So that's essentially the trade that I took today. My opinion, very easy setup, very obvious draw where price is going to go. And there you go. So around just before the close, and then I sold right there. Yeah, essentially that's about it. I am getting better. Oh, that was my first win in a while. I am break even on this paper trading account. So we'll see where we go and we'll keep practicing. Thank you.